As a Kamba, we have a problem with H. We have a problem putting H where it's not supposed to be, or omitting it where it's supposed to be, or adding N in so many things. But nowadays, I'm like, this is me. I'm a Kamba. I can't change anything about it. I grew up knowing Kikamba before, like I learned Swahili and English. So please kindly bear with my accent because I can't change it. So with the self-regard, I just like talk, I speak. If you don't understand, I'll just like explain it, but I don't feel ashamed anymore. And to give birth to this child with a disability, you have to stay at home, take care of them. You've lost your job, and it's expensive. I've seen like the expenses going to the hospital, the medication that these kids take, they're very expensive.
And I've always advised you to check on your friends because out here things are not as you see them. So kindly check on your friends and don't forget to offer a shoulder for them to lean on, because it's one thing checking on them and one thing giving them a shoulder to lean on. And this month is Autism Awareness Month. We are celebrating autism, and together with me today I'm joined by a beautiful guest. She's Miss Autism Ambassador. She's going to tell us more about autism and also mental health in the disability space. And we cannot talk about mental health and we forget about persons with disability, because this is a group that mostly is affected with mental health issues. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful conversation. So hi and welcome. So tell us who you are. Yeah, tell us your name.
Hello, my name is Nzilani Muthio. I'm a psychology major at USIU Africa, and I'm currently the Autism Ambassador Kenya.
Nice. Can I say too much? Too many titles for a beautiful lady like you? But ladies out here, we need to work on ourselves. You look at her, you look at a beautiful and amazing lady seated in front of you. So let's get to know more about her, and let's get to know what pushed her to get the titles that she has right now. So tell us more about yourself.
Oh, I love fashion. That's like one thing that I would wake up and I say this is one thing that I want to love for the rest of my life. And modeling is like very close to fashion because you get to wear, you get to do your makeup and all those things. And yeah, so I select modeling because I love fashion. I admire like the beautiful ladies I saw in magazine posing for photos, looking all beautiful. And it's something that I really, really wanted to do. And when I select modeling, what I enjoy like doing most, actually, apart from what I enjoy actually, other than the walking, is like dressing up. I really, really love dressing up, looking all beautiful, in a beautiful dress, in whatever, in costume. I love costumes so much. So I enjoy like that dressing up. So it really pushed me to join the modeling industry.
So far, what have you learned from this modeling industry?
Modeling is not easy. It requires your consistency. Like you have to be consistent, especially with the training, with the work, there's a way that models work. And it's not like something you'll wake up from maybe like years later and you want to work. You have like to train for. If you really want to be a model, you have to keep training like every day, make sure your work is perfect. Also like work with designers, especially if you don't trust yourself to be creative enough, make sure like you work with designers, creatives out there, ask them what will work for you, give them your opinions and work together to come up with the dressing that you really want.
We all know that different people, different individuals have stories attached to their success. So what is your story attached to your success?
Oh, my beautiful story to my success is that I've really, really improved like my self-esteem. I've had like the lowest self-esteem since like I was not even a teenager actually, since like I was a small kid. I don't know why, but everyone everyone at home used to tell me that I look like a boy growing up.
So they used to pick on you at that time.
Yeah, so like I look like a boy, and you know, like the way we used to nywele yote kipara, you just like go there looking like mabati. Yes, like I also like I look like a man, and I would say like pretty women, and I was always like skinny, you know, like these skinny kids. And there's a way in those primary uniform, kuna venye ilikuwa inakalia wengine vizuri, and I was like, I really want to look that good. But I can't look that good because her body and my body are not like the same. So I had like the self-esteem issues. Also like kushindwa ukiambiwa unakulanga na hononi. It really affected me. Then it progressed to puberty. I started like developing acne. And for the longest I tried like so many things, let me tell you. I even like tried Carolite, the bleaching agent, because someone I didn't know, like someone in high school told me if you want to clear your acne, you should use like the Carolite, and it was so cheap. I was like, okay, if this will clear it, let me just go buy it. And I bought Carolite, and my skin started lightening. So like I've tried so many things. Some of them are embarrassing. I can't even talk. I can't talk about them here. But when I came to campus, I just like realized there is more to that. There is more to you being having like a little bit of meat. And one thing I appreciate about the pageant industry, nowadays it doesn't discriminate. Yeah, it accommodates like all body sizes, and I'm so glad that for the first time ever in Miss Universe, the entire Miss Universe, we had a plus size model from Nepal last year.
Wow.
And she was competed as the first plus size ever, and she even like placed top 20.
Wow.
And it was like really amazing. I love how the industry is growing. So when I started like learning that I can just like do this, I can try it no matter what you tell me I can do it, but if I really want to try it, I just like go ahead and try it. So I tried, and here I am.
Just to pick from what you've said, so that means there is this standard that the social media, because you said you're reading magazines and you get to see these beautiful ladies and you're like, I can't compare myself to them.
Yeah.
So is there a standard that social media portrays to the viewers that we most of the time we find ourselves? Is it being influenced to doing what they do or wanting to have what they have?
The media has really influenced the beauty standards, especially of women. Actually, the media has influenced the beauty standards of women. There's a certain way that a woman should look like for her to be considered beautiful. You should have like a slender body. You should have like that figure, like upwards you're small, then going downwards, like, you know, with hippie. And even like when it comes to your face, you're supposed to have like a clear face, which is not like, even like, it's not like the case in most cases. You'll find that people apply makeup. Most of these magazine photos are edited. So when you look at this person, she has like a very flawless skin, and she have like pimples. You're like, I can't compete with this person. She's beautiful and I'm not. So I'm really happy because some of these top models who have been out in the industry, sometimes they come to the media and explain, there is this what you see on social media, then there's the reality. This is what you see me when I'm on stage. This is what you see from the studio photos that I take after they've been edited. Then when you meet me, I have this acne, I have stretch marks, I have you know like the loose fats. I have all those, and it's normal to have them because it doesn't mean that you're not beautiful. Just don't believe entirely what you see, what is edited there.
Okay, right. So being that right now at least there is that awareness being created, so we don't have to beat ourselves up wanting to be like somebody, lowering our self-esteem. So now you're here, you're struggling with low self-esteem. How did you come out of that? Because it's not an easy journey.
Yeah, it's not an easy journey, especially if you have like a low self-esteem and at the same time you have like social anxiety. So this low self-esteem actually makes it very hard for you to interact with people because whenever like I look at you, it's like I can see you're judging me, like you're looking at my outfit, you're judging me, you're judging like how I look. So it wasn't like easy for me interacting with people. I used to isolate a lot. I couldn't like take photos because I can post what I have and what I've seen there. I can like compare the two. But it's got to a point that it was limiting me from doing things that I love, from modeling, because I was told you can't model because you have pimples. But this is something that I really wanted to do. So I decided like I'll just like try it. And I remember my first pageant, I never applied any makeup. I didn't know like even how to apply makeup. My friend helped me with lipstick and that's what I went to stage with. I just like went with my bare skin. The way it looked with all the pimples, they were actually like worse than they had today. And I just like went there and I was like, I'm going to do this no matter what.
Talking of social anxiety, there is a viewer out here. Yes, they know what is low self-esteem, they know what is self-esteem, but they don't know what is social anxiety. Can you just explain more on what is social anxiety?
Social anxiety is one of the many anxiety disorders, and this is the anxiety that comes when you're interacting with people. It affects like how you socialize out there, how you interact with people. You're not like shy, but you get like nervous when you're trying to have a conversation, even here on camera, like you can't have like a conversation. And with social anxiety, it stems from you seeing people judging you. Like maybe you are in a class doing a presentation and you're afraid of what others will say. But mostly like okay, from my personal experience I can say like social anxiety comes from low self-esteem because if I remember, you know, like there are some things like shrubbing, like you're so afraid of speaking in front of people because there's a certain way you have like that accent, there's a certain way the words will come out and people are going to laugh at you. But the moment like you have like that self-regard, you're like,
You
this
can
is
trust
me.
yourself.
Yeah, this is me. You're just like, nowadays I don't care. I just like don't care because as a Kamba, we have a problem with H. We have a problem putting H where it's not supposed to be, or omitting it where it's supposed to be, or adding N in so many things. But nowadays I'm like, this is me. I'm a Kamba. I can't change anything about it. I grew up knowing Kikamba before like I learned Swahili and English. So please kindly bear with my accent because I can't change it. So with the self-regard, I just like talk. I speak. If you don't understand, I'll just like explain it, but I don't feel ashamed anymore.
Yeah, that's nice. So you fought through low self-esteem, you
Yeah.
fought through social anxiety, now you are a Miss Autism ambassador. What inspired you to go for this title?
Oh, this is like one title that has really been amazing. It has like really changed me a lot. I've seen like a lot of growth since last year until now. When I saw the auditions, it's not like the normal modeling pageant. And I normally have, I'm a perfectionist, so I don't go for things unless like I know I'm going to excel at them. But for this one, I was like, even if I don't win, it's okay. At least like I tried and I'll continue like advocating for autism. So when I saw the auditions, a poster online, I went, did the auditions, and I was so excited during the auditions because I was even like asking questions about the organization. It's called Ready Aiders Foundation. I was asking questions about the organization, the challenges that they go through, and one thing they asked me if I've ever interacted with someone with autism, and I said no. And I was even like asked if I watched like a movie where someone like had autism, and I said no. But when I went home and started like familiarizing myself with autism, the characteristics, how people behave, people who have autism behave, I came to realization that I've interacted with so many people who have autism. It's just that I didn't know that they had autism. We have a kid at home. She has like autism, and people don't know. Like they normally say maybe alirogwa because wakamba na uchawi. Yeah, so they normally say alirogwa ndo maana ako hivi, and others wanasema it's cause the mother gave birth to her akiwa mezeeka. I think maybe in her 40s. I'm not sure, but now this is not the case. Like this is a developmental disorder that develops as you grow on. And also the other thing was I'm doing psychology, and with psychology I get to deal with mental health and also like all these disorders. These are disorders that we learn in class. I was like, this is the perfect. I'm a model and I'm a psychologist, so I'm going to get this.
Bringing in the mental health part, we are creating awareness about mental health because mental health is more of a baby to us because we came to realize and learn more about mental health during COVID-19 when now people were told to stay in their homes. Now we had so many issues coming up. So now we are advocating for mental health, but there is this group of people that has slightly been left out. These are persons with disability. So now talking about mental health, how is it for a parent to walk into a hospital celebrating that with that joy they're going to have their child, then now 2 years 3 years later they're given the news that their child has autism? How are these parents coping? Because you've interacted with the kids with autism and you've also interacted with the parents. So kindly just paint to us a brief picture on how these parents feel.
Honestly, it's not easy, not from personal experience, but from the interaction that I've had with these parents. Because one thing about children with special needs, that means you're going to be a stay-at-home mom. Because you need to give this child attention that it's like the same attention that maybe like a house manager can come and give the same child. And also there is that, like everyone wants to have like a healthy baby. It's like everyone's wish, and you're not prepared. No one is prepared to have a child who has like a disability. So it's not quite easy, especially with the stigma around like the disabilities, not even like the physical disabilities. For autism, it's like hidden disability, but there's still that stigma because autism being on the spectrum, everyone like has people who have like autism, sometimes they have like different characteristics. There's someone who has like autism and they have like ADHD. ADHD like makes you to be all over. Like you just want to touch this, you want to touch this, you want to do this. There are those who have like autism and they're so quiet, they just like love their space. And they also like have like they draw these tantrums because being around people makes them uncomfortable. Being around like loud places, like the noises, they make them uncomfortable. So they start like drawing the tantrums. And for someone who is not familiar with that, they will be like, huyu mtoto amelelewa vibaya. But it's not like kulelewa vibaya. This is what they have. And there's that stigma. Even when you go to social gatherings with your friends don't want to interact with you. Because there's this show, it's called Atypical. And when I was watching, I could see how their family has been, it can be affected. Because in most cases, it's the burden of the mother. We give birth to a child who is autistic, and the father doesn't want to be associated with that. Inakwanga lane ya mama.
So that means the mother anachwa and struggle to accept that the child is autistic, and now ana struggle to accept the fact that this man is not going to be in her life.
Yeah, because in most cases what I've seen and what I've had, in most cases the man always leave. So even like in this show, the boy has like autism, and it's like the way the parents had their best friends, and their best friends had to cut them off because of this kid. the way he was interacting. Sometimes he doesn't want to be touched. He has like his toys. He doesn't want his toys to be touched. You're like, he's not selfish. That's like who they are. So now, like, imagine the same trauma, the same experience that these parents go through on show. A show that is fictional is the same experiences that parents go through in real life. And also there is also like this challenge where maybe you are working and to give birth to this child with a disability, you have to stay at home, take care of them. You've lost your job, and it's expensive. I've seen like the expenses going to the hospital, the medication that these kids take, they're very expensive. And also the facilities, let's say like someone who has like cerebral palsy, the muscle coordination is a problem. They can't walk around. You have to get them a wheelchair. A wheelchair is not something that you just like go in a supermarket and get. It's expensive. It's expensive. The therapy also is expensive because with autism we have the speech therapy for those who are nonverbal. You have like to take them to be. The therapy helps them to be verbal at least. For someone who has like cerebral palsy, they need the speech therapy and physiotherapy for their muscles. And let's not even go to the schools, because the schools also are expensive. I've never seen a public school that only takes special needs kids. And children with special needs, they can't really survive in a normal environment. That's the schools that we went to. So they need like that special care. It's expensive, there's the stigma, and like having to deal with this, and it's tiresome. By the way, I've interacted with children with autism and these disorders. It will test your patience, like every day. For me, I do that 3 days, 3 days a week, 3 hours per day. Now imagine a full-time parent. You have to deal with that every day. It drains you.
And you being a psychologist, you being a training psychologist, let me call you for now, a training psychologist, what will you really want to do in the disability space? Because we really have a lot to work on, because there is self-esteem issues because of discrimination and stigma. We have separation anxiety. We have separation anxiety. We also have the employment anxiety, because you don't know where you're going to be employed, if they will accept you or if they will reject you. We have rejection, so these people are being rejected by their family members, not only the men walking out, but also some of the ladies do walk out. So they're having these all issues in one basket. So you as a training psychologist, once you are done with your school, what will you want to change in this field of disability?
Actually, having interacted with children with autism, it is my wish to change the curriculum, the school curriculum. I would want to advocate and ensure that we have, even if like it's like maybe one special needs school, a public one, in every locality. Because hidden disabilities is something that you don't see. You don't see, you can tell that a child has like autism. And there are some disabilities that they also have, like with autism you have like other disabilities. For example, we have kids who have like dyslexia, like waona vitabu. Yeah, because there's also like this other myth that children with autism are very smart or genius.
This is the first time I'm hearing.
Oh, really? Really? Because my first time when I heard about children with autism, I was told hawa ni machopi, they're very genius, they're very creative, wanajua kuchora.
But the creativity part,
I
support that.
But like not everyone has that need. That not everyone can draw. Not everyone has like is a genius in maths and they can excel well in school. There are those others who really struggle. There are those who are nonverbal. They can function in the same school. So I really want to push the idea of like having special needs school in every locality for parents who can't afford. because the special needs schools are very expensive. And if you can't afford that, that means your child has to stay at home the entire life.
So now to the parents, how will you help the parents? Because they are all going through a lot in their homes, taking care of these kids. Because being a mother, you are connected
Yeah.
to this child. So what will you help the parents, not only a mother but also to a father who has a child with autism? How will you help them? Because they go through a lot.
First thing is the awareness part, because most people are not aware about autism or these other hidden disabilities. I think like creating that awareness to a point that even like when you get a child and they have like this autism, they have maybe like a cerebral palsy, you're already aware of what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I think most parents are highly affected because you give birth to a child and they start having like some symptoms you can't even explain what they are. And even you'll end up like having your child diagnosed when it's already too late. Maybe they are 5 and they can speak, and you're like, why can they speak? Or maybe like they are 10, you're like, now you can like see this is like autism. And all that time you didn't know like what autism is. So like dealing with something that you really don't know and you can understand is a challenge. I think there need to be that like daily awareness that these things exist, how to cope with them, how to deal with how to accept them. Also for such parents, especially the parents who have not like experienced, even like those who know like what it is, it's not easy.
Yeah, the acceptance part.
Yeah. So for some who can afford therapy, I would recommend like you go for therapy. For those who can't afford, you can call either a money counseling or Befrienders Kenya. You can just like talk to them, air out your grievances, talk to them about your experience, and you like walking the journey knowing that there's someone I can talk to. That is like really, really important. Also, I was trying to set up, it's still like my dream. I want to set up a center for children with autism, hidden disabilities at my home county, Machakos, to end that stigma. First, like end the stigma, educate people, and offer like free services for these kids, whether it's like the free therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, interact with them, teach them the basic knowledge, like maybe like creating something. They can earn a living out of something that they create themselves. And so how I was planning my therapy to be, because currently we have Ready Aiders does free therapy every Saturday at Madare and Kawangware
Time, at what time?
from morning until like noon. And this is mostly for the kids. They have like speech therapy, physiotherapy. But like I want to tailor mine to offer all those services and the same time offer free therapy to the parents, like talk to them, engage, let me hear out what you went through and all that.
Okay, that's nice and that's a good initiative. I must recommend you for the good work that you want to do in future.
Thank you.
Because you know at some point when somebody encourages what
Yeah.
you want to do, it makes you have that oomph of
Yeah.
wanting to do that thing. So I'm very grateful that you came to this show. And here on The Secrets of the Mind, we advocate more about mental health. You check on your friends, but I also tell my viewers, when you're checking on friends, ensure that you give them a shoulder to lean
Yeah.
on. Ensure that you get to maybe direct them to the right place to get help. Because most of the time you get that you check on this friend, hi, how are you? They're like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But deep down, they're not just
Yeah, they're not
okay.
fine.
And also, this is to our viewers, when you meet a parent with an autistic child or you meet a parent with a child who has a disability, be kind to them because these parents go through a lot. They might not say, but at some point you might just see it on their faces. They are going through a lot. So be kind to them and also check on them. And if they need help from you, kindly, please direct them to the right people where they will get this help. Thank you so much for coming to my show, and this has been Secrets of the Mind. See you on the next show. Bye.
I wanted to say something.
You can say.
This is my part in short. when you're interacting with people with disability, people may make assumptions, like many assumptions, but the people with disability, they just like don't need your help like always. Please, when you're interacting with these people, make sure that you ask before running to help someone. If someone is on a wheelchair, before you start like pushing them, ask them if they want to be pushed. And if they have not like asked for it, for your help, and they're fine, please don't assume that they really need your help, because from the interaction that I've had, one thing they hate about us is we always like make the assumption that I always like need help from people. And also the other thing, that's making assumption that this is what you need, that you can do things for yourself, you can't. So like they really know what they want. Always like make sure you ask them whether you need this help or not.
Thank you so much for that, because most of the time, yes, I've seen you going to an event and they're like,
Yeah.
there is a deaf person out there, or there is this this person with disability out there, they need 1, 2, 3. But in real sense, when you go asking them, do you need help? They'll be like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, because it comes out as pity, and people with disability don't. So with that someone with a disability, please treat them the way you can treat your friend who doesn't have a disability. They don't want to be pitied. Yeah.
Anything to add?
No.
Okay, so when you meet a person with disability, kindly don't assume, just ask them if they need help, and if they don't need help, it's also okay. So thank
Yeah.
you so much.